It actually started 3.5 years ago with our mom. She read an article about a farm that rescues horses called Circle A. And then they were looking for volunteers. So she actually rode when she was a kid. And so she decided she wanted to volunteer there. And then so she started volunteering, met all the people. Then we started coming out. And it was just a really fun experience. And then it was actually funny. She told our dad, she's like, we're gonna have to rescue a horse at some point from doing this, and he was accepting that. So eventually Louie came from Louisiana kill pen, and we were like, this is the right horse for us, and so we adopted Louie, and then spent a bunch of time with him, and he's a really sweet horse. And then, but we saw like what happens at kill pens, and I didn't want to make a difference. And that summer, our parents challenged us to do a compassion project, which is pretty much like do something to help out the community or whatever. And so we were like, this is perfect. We just adopted a horse. Let's do something to help the rescues. And so we started researching things to sell or things to make money so we can donate. And eventually we saw a bunch of people that are doing like DIY popsicles for their horses. And we're like, that's a great idea. It's fun. And so we saw they're using carrots and bananas, that kind of thing. But problem with that is that they have to stay frozen. And so if you're trying to like ship or retailers and that kind of thing. So we came up with like the dried ingredients idea. So now we have the popsicles where it's all dried ingredients and then you add water to them and freeze them.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys do the whole, did your parents help you with figuring out packaging for all of these things? Like, when did your business start to get to the point where you were looking into that?
Well, about 10 months ago when we officially launched, and it was just a small thing we were doing as a family and us two together to help. And then we realized like how much people loved this and the potential it had. And that's when we really started getting into those details that we hadn't thought of before.
Yeah. So we started 3.5 years ago. That was the idea when we rescued Louie. And then we kind of took a break from it. And then just this year is when we started back up and we really ramped things up this summer. So our first really good.
How much research went into this, I guess, with like the flavors and what the ingredients?
Yeah, it was a lot of research in the beginning on what's okay for horses, because at first we were kind of looking at everything we use is human grade ingredients that's good for them. And we kind of started out with a lot of things we didn't really we didn't hurt people feeding them. We started out with like gelatin and stuff, and we kind of got better into like the dried. We have real bananas and carrots in them. And so eventually we ended up figuring out that other barn animals and even dogs, we have dogs, and we never even thought of the fact we'd have another retailer tell us about that. And so we kind of looked in all of our products about what we're using and that they're all okay for them.
So did you start this just by experimenting in the kitchen and dehydrating things, or how did you actually start it?
Yeah, so it started in our house. There was a lot of things we were looking at like popular flavors that other people do. So we use like flaxseed and molasses, which is all of them. And here actually this uses a lot of the ingredients. You can see the dried carrots and flaxseed. We use oats, that kind of thing. So they're very wholesome. And we just we researched, tried different things out, tested them on our horse and other horses, and we also got feedback from other people about what they thought until we got this flavors we have right now.
Who added the sprinkles?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly who that was, but the sprinkles kind of had they're supposed to be fun. That's the whole point. It's like you're sharing a pop.
It's a fun factor. I like it.
Right.
I have one here. I haven't used mine yet. I have one here though. I can't wait. I have the carrots, glazed carrots.
The glazed carrot, yep. So yeah, that's the flavors are fun too. Like glazed carrot, we have a cake flavor. It's that kind of thing. It's not it's fine for them. It's not like it's cake, but it's a fun flavor and people enjoy it.
Do you guys have a best-selling flavor?
It's probably our Nana Oats flavor. That one has our oats, turmeric, dried bananas, and but yeah, that's the one that it was one of our original flavors. Peppermint was our first one, and that was kind of our original designed for horses one. But right now, Nana Oats has been our big seller.
Huh. So I don't know if there's like a good answer to this, but have you guys seen like your horses like prefer one flavor over the other? Like, have you
Yeah,
guys been able to
Louie's
notice a
Blaze
difference?
carrot. When we started out with the carrot one, Blaze carrot, that was probably his favorite. We whenever he knows that when we open up the freezer, his ears perk up. He gets all excited because he knows what's coming.
Aw.
same. Like we can say like you want a happy pop, and all of a sudden they just start jumping
All
because
around the
they love it.
house.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
That is cute. So what, well, I guess we never even introduced you guys, I guess, in your names. So do you want to tell us your names and what grade you're in, and kind of your hobbies?
Yeah. My name is Meryl Schmidt. I'm a freshman. And I play bass guitar. I do a lot of playing. I have my own band that I have some friends, and we actually play gigs around. So I do that, and also play at my church in the church band. And then I play baseball in high school.
I'm Owen Schmidt. I'm in 7th grade. I play electric guitar and I play in the church band there. I also play baseball and basketball on travel teams. And I used to do taekwondo.
Oh.
Black taekwondo.
Fun. So how do you guys balance running a business and, doing all of your activities?
At first it was a little bit hard with a lot of the things we do. A lot of communication didn't start out when we were first doing it. But we started to find a balance on when we had to do it. Some sacrifices, times when usually we were doing something else, but we knew it was something that would be really helpful. And it really ended up paying off for this last year. And now we work really well collectively in getting everything done.
And that's a big part. Part of running a business is, you have to make sacrifices, especially with the schedule we have. But when you like what you're doing, like the horses, like the product, it's really, if you're okay making those sacrifices for the business.
So what are your roles now as compared to like when you first started?
Well, right now we definitely want to donate even more and double everything, all of our sales and donations that we've done. We did $5,500 of donations last year.
Wow.
Double that this year, get even more rescue partners and help them. And
We have like our roles in the business. Like I'm the CFO, the chief financial officer. So I do like when we have meetings every week, board meetings. So I like present the like the profit and loss in the reports. And then Owen's the COO, the chief operations manager. So he does a lot of like the making the pops and inventory and that kind of thing. And then our mom does a lot of the social media and marketing because she doesn't want us on social media yet.
Okay.
And then our dad does
techie.
yeah, he does a lot of the tech stuff.
So you guys started this right off the bat with board meetings and titles and everything. I mean, this is a very serious venture for you. So who helped you to get that planned where you guys were so serious about it and it wasn't just like a hobby?
Yeah, so when we started, a lot of the big thing is like other people, other businesses. So like Kids in Biz was something that our mom ran into, where they're helping like kids with businesses. And so that really, because none of us have ever done a business before, it's hard, like the navigating. So they definitely helped us to work through the steps, how do you get started and that kind of thing, and making this a serious thing so we can also help others.
Very cool.
This is pretty inspiring. I mean, that you can just start with something, never having a background in business. We've always grown up around business. Like my dad had an electronics store before we even started. My mom and dad started Ram horse fencing and stalls, and then the girls have always grown up in it. So you guys didn't even have that experience at all, but now you have all of these things laid out. And did you have to put a business plan together too?
Yeah, we've been working on that actually right now, making that better and developing, because it's important to and also if we're talking about like if we need investors, we have to have a business plan to be ready for that.
Currently, we have a big decision we're working on making because we've had one of our big challenges is producing and manufacturing them. we've had so many orders recently that we can't actually keep up with them. And it's limiting us how much we can promote them, share them, and ultimately our donations. So we're a big thing that we're working with their business plan is for getting a co-packer and someone help make them for us. But also we've been looking at a company that has handicapped people that will make them if they can't do other jobs. So that's a big step we're working on, and we're excited to be helping those people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I'm so proud of you guys. This is so cool. So obviously we're a family and we work together, and we have issues. So sometimes it's really good and really fun, but like other
Sometimes
times
it's hard.
It's hard. So what do you guys think about like working with one another, and how's that impacted your relationship?
First, it was pretty rough. About like I thought you were doing that, I thought you were doing that, but we've gotten a lot better as a family and as brothers of our communication and getting roles so we know what everyone's doing. And I think it's helped our family.
Yeah, it's grown a relationship. It's cool. Especially when you have like the half jobs is one thing we all kind of share, and so we can work on it together. It's fun.
Yeah.
What do your friends think of you guys owning a business?
It's funny. I mean, they're really cool. They're actually some of our best promoters in school. Like I remember there was one day where I was talking about it with one of my friends, and he shared he looked on his school Chromebook up the website, and then a bunch of people came over, and then the entire class was looking up the website and talking about it. And I was like, it's cool because I mean, there's not a lot of kids that have their own businesses, and so hopefully also we're inspiring other kids to do it too, because it's really fun.
My friend told me today he was going to be an investor once we start.
So the design that you have here, who came up with the design? Did you guys all do that together as a family, or how did that come about?
Well, our mom is a graphic designer, so she's done a lot of all of the our designs, logos, and all that, because she went to school for all that, so she's been really good at helping us with all of our designs.
Yeah, and so she does a lot of designing, and then of course she checks in with us, and to make sure we all agree with it and we talk about it. But the goal is like the logo and the colors. It's all supposed to kind of share your happy is our slogan, so it's supposed to all be about happiness and fun. So yeah.
And our logo was based off Louie. That was our image.
Yeah.
That's cute. So how did you guys get into riding? Have you guys been doing it since you were just little, going to the barn?
No, I mean, we really hadn't seen horses very much until Circle A and our mom there. But we kind of really got connected with the horses there with Louie. We got him. He was so sweet. And that's part of the reason we really wanted to do this, because the fact that he could have been killed for meat was just a terrible thought for us. And now how happy he is, riding him and being with him, it was one of the main reasons we started. But yeah, we was all because of Circle A, and that's how we got connected with the horse world.
Yeah, so now like our mom, she rode when she was a kid, so that's why she wanted to do this. And now so we go out there all the time, and we don't show, but we just like being with Louie, riding him, trotting, just that kind of thing.
Okay.
What discipline are you?
Again?
What discipline? What do you ride? English, Western?
Oh, we're Western.
Western. Okay.
Right, Western.
All right. Are you guys looking at getting any more horses, or just Louie?
Louie's enough for now. But we haven't looked into that, but it'd be.
I think it's definitely a possibility. Like our parents are thinking about living in Charlottesville and getting their own farm once we go off to college, and having more horses. So it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for kids around your age that want to start a business?
I'd say a really important part is networking, especially when you're starting, surrounding yourself with people that have done the things that you want to do, and being able to give you advice to help you out along the way, because I mean, you're going to face struggles, and that kind of thing. And if you have people there that, like whether it's retailers for us that have helped us a lot, or kids in biz, that kind of thing that can help you navigate through those challenges.
We've had one retail partner who had completely expanded us. They expanded us to dogs and other barn animals, because originally we were actually Happy Horse Pops and we were only for horses, and then we expanded to dogs and other barn animals. They've given us so much advice, and we've really grown a ton because of some of our retail partners and everything they've done. And then something else that we've learned is that sometimes it's like making the sacrifices on sometimes is maybe at the time is a little hard, but it really pays off. And for something we love, it's really something that we really care about doing, and it really helps us move forward.
Yeah, like Friday nights used to be like family time, movie and pizza. Now it's still family time, but it's working on Happy Pops. I mean, we really enjoy it. So yeah.
A lot of times those are the times that we expand the most, when we do stuff where we wouldn't have usually been doing it, and that's been a huge help for us.
So do you feel like there's a time when you all have to say to one another, like, we can't talk about the business tonight, or we have to take a break, because it can almost be all the time? It's just such a normal conversation to start having. Have you guys experienced that yet?
Right. There have been times where we've spent we've been up till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get something done, and we have to like just be like, we'll take a break from it. We'll come back together because we're starting to get a little frustrated. But I mean, that's how we get better and we learn from that.
Yeah. So what have been like your big accomplishments through doing the business? Have you guys hit your goals, and then you got really excited, or what does that look like?
Well, we hit in the last 10 months when we officially launched, we hit our 5-figure mark last year. And that was a big accomplishment for us. And that kind of was really eye-opening for us. And it really showed us how much we can grow, and like how much we can really do with this and help. And we have some things. We've in the last year we've gone to 15 retailers, which has really kind of validated us and like kind of what we're doing. And so we've had new flavors throughout the year, and we have 9 retail partners now, and that's really
9 rescues.
9 rescues, and that's kind of really driven us, and it's kind of showed us what we can do as a business.
Yeah, and for the rescues, those are horse rescues and dog rescues, and then so if rescues come to us and say we want you to support us, and we'll go to the rescue, check them out, and then every quarter we pass out the money. And then you can also, on our website, you can designate which rescue you want to support. So if you come from a rescue or you really like one of those, you can actually select a rescue and then give the percentage of the profits or of the sales straight to them.
And what percentage of your sales goes to the rescues?
10%.
10%.
All sales, yes.
Very cool. Yeah. So where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, so we have on Facebook and Instagram, which is at Share Your Happy Pops. And then we also have a website, www.shareyourhappypops.com. And then, if you want to email us at urock@shareyourhappypops.com, we'd be happy to talk. If kids, if they want advice about starting a business or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll enter our next segment, Canter Banter.
Do you love horses and live the equestrian lifestyle? Be sure to check out our brand new blog at www.yourhorsefarm.com. We publish 3 posts per week and feature a free printable equine checklist every month. Yourhorsefarm.com is a great equine online resource, so be sure to share with all the horse lovers in your life. And remember, laugh much and ride often. This podcast is brought to you by Ram Horse Fencing and Stalls, the one-stop shop for your horse farm. Ram is family-owned and operated and has been in business for over 30 years. We welcome you to call in and speak with an expert about your next project today at 866-653-8984. Again, that's 866-653-8984.
So recently after we got Louie, we moved to a new barn that was closer to us, and they had a pond there. And so kind of the thing was that you can take the horse bareback into the pond and ride around, and it's supposed to be, it feels really good. It's a fun experience. So we were, my mom and I were out there one time, and she was with Louie bareback, and he was doing really well. He went in and he was acting great. And so she was in there for a while, and then she came out and she's like, do you want to try it out? And this was maybe my third or fourth time ever riding. But I was like, I mean, he's doing great. Sure, I'll do it. And so I got on him bareback, and we were going towards the pond, and he was fine. He wasn't sidestepping or anything. And then at the last second, going into the pond, he was like, nope, and turned around and completely full canter. It might have been a gallop straight across the field. And I was bareback, dear life. And then eventually he got to the other side of the field, stopped and started eating grass. And I just remember being like, holy cow, what just happened?
You made it. You made it.
You stayed on.
Still alive.
And and then afterwards, remembering, and I was just like, that was actually just a great feeling of just going fast. I was scared to death, but it was. And then so I mean, I kept riding it, then it stopped me.
Very,
that's
very
awesome.
good.
And then he has a similar story, kind of.
Yeah, so it's a similar thing. I think it was our first lesson. We did group lessons at our new horse barn. And so I was on this horse, Cash. I had never ridden it before, and it was going well at first. I was really nervous just being, because, you know, it's the first time around them, they're big, and I was like 10 or 9. And so I get up on him, and so we get in the ring, and I'm extremely nervous. I'm kind of terrified. We're just walking around, and then all of a sudden he just stops and starts like he's like twitching his legs. He's shaking his head, and his tail's going up and down. And so I'm starting to freak out because I have no clue what this means. I have no clue what's going on. And then all of a sudden he like drops his knees and starts to roll.
Oh.
And he's going down. I've never really, I don't know what to do. I'm like, bail, 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 bail. The instructor turns around, and she's yelling for me to jump off. And so I push off, I land on the ground, and I run to the other end of the ring, trying to get as far away. I turn around, and he's just rolling all over in the sand, and like there's like no sand there anymore. And I'm kind of just thinking like, what was happening if I was under there?
Right.
I was terrified. I was like, that could have been bad. We went back. I got up on another horse, but the rest of the ride, I was basically just sitting there still, just very cautious. But same thing. Eventually, I got back on them and continued riding, but that was a very scary experience.
Oh,
for
that
me.
was so funny. I had a similar experience with my first ride on a horse, but it was just that the pony was old, and we took this long ride and came back, and same thing, just buckled down, but mine was just sitting, so it just laid down like it was tired. So I think that's so funny. It is a very scary experience when they start doing it and you're on top of them and it's your first ride. So
Yeah.
Especially first lesson. You're like, what?
Is this normal?
right. That's so much fun.
Yeah. Do you guys ride regularly now, or how often do you guys get to ride?
We do ride pretty regularly. I wish we got out there more because we're pretty busy. But we do go out and ride and round pen them a little bit with Mom. And it's a fun experience being out there.
Yeah.
Very
Alright.
cool.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you guys so much.
We hope you enjoyed listening to our podcast and encourage you to share with all your equestrian family and friends. You can tune into the Late Night Riders podcast show every Friday night. Each episode will be uploaded exclusively on YouTube, where you can subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of our latest shows. Do you have a topic you'd like us to discuss? We want to hear from you. You may email us at podcast@ramfence.com or feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you again for listening.